Synergy Hub helps businesses manage and share knowledge internally through structured system departments, spaces, and wiki pages. When you log into Synergy Hub, you'll see you can add different departments like customer support, marketing, sales, and within each department, you can add different spaces. If we go into marketing, we can look at the activity, we can look at the different pages created, the comments on those pages, and also the spaces. You can then bookmark different spaces and create different departments within that. Then within your profile, you can integrate Slack and you can integrate Google Workspace. When you're creating different spaces, you can, within those spaces, upload documentation, you can download documents, you can add external links, you can create temporary links, everything to keep your company's data secured and safe.
Felt like building an app from scratch is a grind that eats up your time, pulls you away from your core business, and forces you to wrestle with complex code or bloated teams. Most founders don't have the bandwidth to dive into endless coding tutorials or hire a massive dev crew just to get a functional app off the ground. You're juggling client work, growth strategies, and keeping your vision on track. And the last thing you need is another time sink that doesn't align with your mission. In this walkthrough, I'm going to show you how to vibe code an entire app from start to finish using AI-powered tools to simplify the process, save you time, and keep your business lean. We'll map out a practical, no fluff approach that plugs right into your workflow so that you can build something scalable without losing your sanity. Without further ado, let's jump straight in. Okay, first things first. We want to be able to do some research. Some of you may know it as a corporate wiki, which is essentially a platform where we have all centralized documentation that team members can utilize and everyone can operate with it. So after doing some research, I found this awesome article just to give you a bit of a definition on it. A corporate wiki is an online platform or website that allows employees with a company to collectively create, edit, and share information and knowledge related to the company's operations, policies, procedures, and projects. It serves as a centralization repository of information that can be accessed and updated by authorized individuals, fostering communication, collaboration, and knowledge sharing within the environment. Now, based on this article, I took what was valuable and that we can use in order to ensure that we can prompt the AI to the best of our abilities. By the way, guys, we'll be using Replit to build this app from start to finish, from front end to back end to database. They cover all aspects of that. By the way, guys, if you want to try Replit, there's a link in the description that I've added that gives you some free credits to test out the platform and play around with it and decide if this is something that is beneficial for you. Now, without further ado, once we have this entire knowledge of what the app does, I usually just write a short prompt like this. I say, help me create an outline for an app, a wiki for our business to centralize all of our information, knowledge related to the company, and also create an opportunity for team members to work on it. Collectively, the app should be extremely fluent and needs to look like Apple created the app. The animation needs to be smooth and everything needs to be set up correctly. I would also like it to use Replit's authentication and normal sign-in functions. That's specifically important, especially because we're building it on Replit and we want to get that out of the way quite quickly. Then we have all of this in, and then fill out the template below so that the AI agent can use it and create the app accordingly. So first, what we will do, you can use ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whichever platform you feel comfortable with. I use Grok right now, and then we have the entire template and outline. By the way, guys, I've got a link in the description if you guys wanted to grab this outline and template, really going through everything from core architecture to key functionalities all the way through to recommended build approach and the security architecture. Once we've added that template in here with the context, we now let the AI create the prompt that we essentially will be using for Replit. Right, guys, so just finished up with bringing all of that to life. I did pick up something in the feature areas here where we need to bring in a link. So I will say, for example, in this section, ensure to add functionality that will enable us to add links as well as docs, etc. Okay, I noticed that it did add it in here. That is fantastic. So what we want to do, we want to copy that. And once you've signed into Replit, this is going to be extremely important. We want to add and paste that all in here and then say create app. So what's currently happening, as you'll see, Replit is analyzing the documentation, and based on that, we'll propose a building structure that it's comfortable with. And that's something we can then confirm and then allow the agent to start doing the work. Right, Replit is done. It analyzed the entire outline, and it also asked me, would I like to add any of these additional features? Now again, this is extremely important, guys, to take into consideration. When we're building the app, we want to ensure that we're building piece by piece, but there are different areas of functionality that if we were to add that in later, it could have a huge effect on the functionality of the app. So that is extremely important to take into consideration. So we're looking at adding these additional features. Usually when Replit suggests them, I look at what is appropriate and then decide. So for example, implement documentation export. Yeah, that's something we did mention. Add advanced search filters. Great suggestion. Integrate with external services, perhaps. Caching. Yeah, that all seems good. So let's approve this and let's start the build. So guys, you will also see how quickly Replit moves within the build, like the code, the way that it writes. Just think of it, if humans were to write this, how long it will take. And you'll probably need a team of minimum 5 people that can assist with the setup and structure. Okay, so guys, as you can see on the left, Replit is still busy with writing the code and building the entire layout. So in the meantime, what we can do is we can say, let's play around with name ideas. So now let's see what names Grok would suggest. Yeah, I think Synergy Hub is good. Then we can already say Synergy Hub. But I'll first wait for it to finish up with the build. So as you guys can see, it is still building. Okay, Replit finished the entire setup. I just want to show you guys quickly what it did. There's so much that happened here with all of these codes, the configurations, the database installation. There's a lot that happened here. And looking at it, with all the functionality that's already created, because of having an outline and planned the app accordingly, we basically, for this specific setup so far, we've paid 25 cents. Now let's start with changing the name. Just finished updating the name, so let's quickly jump into seeing what is functional and what is not. Okay, fantastic. The Replit authentication is working. Let's play around with the app and see what we can add, remove. Right, so usually when this happens, I'll take a screenshot of that. So let's provide some feedback. Let's start with home. Everything here seems okay. Let's test it out. Using tags is not working. Also can't add anything in the text box below tags. Also getting an error when trying to save the new page. Okay. Also can't switch between teams. It's currently stuck on Zyme team. Guys, for the sake of time, you are more than welcome to just skip along. There are tags in the cursor of the video, so you're more than welcome to go through with me troubleshooting this, but yeah, by all means do skip ahead if you feel you want to. Okay, we know that we can't switch that. Let's also say this feature should be able to switch, but also give the user of the app the opportunity to create other departments, etc. Got the explore. You just took a screenshot of that as well. I'll also say explore page gives an 404 error, updates on sidebar. Let's do this. Update section sidebar. Not showing any information. Clicking bookmarks. There's nothing. I would guess once we start to create new pages, we can start to bookmark them and add more in it. And then settings page. Now what I'm seeing here, the spaces and the team needs to be differentiated. Team switching and spaces section on the side bar currently have the same page. Should serve as different functions. Right, so let's see what Replit will be producing based on this feedback. Alright guys, Replit just finished up. So as you can see, it was basically troubleshooting. Since we've prompted it again to fix all of these errors, it took 10 minutes. So yeah guys, in this video you'll see when you go to the top, we created the app 37 minutes ago. Taking that into consideration, guys, it's going to be a lot of time to do whatever you want in between. And the nice thing with Replit is you can use it on your phone. You can literally operate from anywhere and deploy your app and fix bugs, etc. So let's quickly see what is fixed and if everything is working. Let's give it a refresh. Okay, still can't type under the tag section. Tag is working now. Let's explore. Obviously there's going to be nothing here because we haven't created anything. Yeah, the updates are here. Pages, good. That's all fine. Settings, profile. And nothing works here, but those are minor edits to make. The main functionality here will need to be sorted out. Okay, yeah, updated. Nothing updated. Also not seeing the features to add links, integrate with different external platforms like, let's say, Slack, Google Suite, let's say Workspace, Drive, Docs, Sheets, etc. We also need to add a function to be able to add different team members with different roles and only assign certain access to them regarding the departments and spaces. We see that the team section is updated. However, we should just say the Flitz theme preferences are not working when changing to dark mode. Right. Then I can now choose between compartments. However, when clicking, I found that if you use the exact words verbatim, even though it can reason with itself, it really helps a lot with the troubleshooting. Just a side note there. So create new team takes me to the profile in settings. What else could there be? That seems about it. There's nothing I would say. We can test right now. So let's see what it comes up with now. Okay guys, you'll see this when you're using Replit that it's got this area called secrets. So essentially this is where it can store your API keys or your secret keys for you. So you don't have to go and add them in all the time. So I'm not going to add any of this in there right now. So I'll just say, I'll give you the secret keys later. And ask it just to continue with what it was busy with. Okay, so now finished adding all the features, etc. But I can see that the light and dark feature is not working correctly. Let's quickly test all the other. Create a new team. Now this seems good. Regarding finances. But let's leave it. Create space. Nothing showed up. Okay, home, bookmark, spaces. Okay, everything else seems about right. Let's quickly see if we can update the profile. Yeah, it's now updating. Fantastic. Configure workspace. Awesome. So let's run with these two edits and see what it provides. Let's see what Replit fixed. So the switching functionality by optimizing the theme. Let's quickly see. I think it's speaking about. Okay. Let's test. Let's just say Gemini test. Okay, fantastic. So space creation is working. Let's create a page. Working, and let's also look at tags. Still fine. It also says text also not working in the create new page section. See, everything else looks good. What I'm still picking up here is that it's not differentiating between spaces, and let's see what Replit would suggest regarding this. Okay, so Replit just mentioned that add a Teams link in the main navigation sidebar. Alright, I can see that. Teams from a drop down. Good, that is changed. Let's play around with this. Let's say marketing team, and let's make them green. Right. Then we can see also still can't switch between teams. Let's just see again. Yeah. This is sales. Team creation is working. However, it's not stored in the switch menu on the sidebar, and still can't switch between current team on sidebar. That all is working. Everything here except the preferences here with the coloring. Just going to say for now, let's remove the preferences section. Okay. So taking that into consideration, let's see what Gemini can fix here. Let's quickly see. Just the spacing. Let's call this cell scripts. make it a document, create space. So after creating a new space, trying to add a new page to it, I don't pick up the space I created in the space section under create new page. Also floor feature, just going to remove this and ensure the search wiki function is working properly. And then we can have a look at clearing all the recent updates, notifications, and change them with actual behavior. And then what I would also say, let's say that, let's take this, we should change this to email invite. That's fine. Spaces settings, in team settings, there's edit functionality to change the name, delete, etc., and ensure this flows consistently throughout the app. Okay guys, this all looks good. So there's design team. I think we should change this departments as team members of the organization using the app, and they work under different departments. That's all fine. Spaces are still not showing up. Alright, let's see what we can fix. Usually when this happens, I get a bit anxious. Sometimes it was wrapping up previous function, and then when you come back to look at what progress is being made, it basically is still saying running, and then it's not taking this into consideration. So let's see what it says. Okay, so it actually picked it up quite well and is now starting to edit and make the changes. Something that I did pick up as well is when we edit a space, we create a page within a space, we should ensure that all the spaces that we are currently working in, the functionality to either upload documentation, connect a link for documentation, upload a link for documentation, so that we can either store information or retrieve information via upload, download, and URL. So that will be the next prompt. Let's wait for it to finish up with the previous work and then get it to start implementing these changes as well. Now guys, something to take into consideration, there's a lot of different ways to build the apps. There's a lot of different methodologies. And what is important, as you see, we go step by step, right? We're not bringing in massive additional features, even though there could be a lot that we can bring in, but we ensure that everything that we're currently building in here can be tested and that there's quick feedback. If we can have quick feedback and see what's not working and get that sorted before building out everything as a whole, it's going to help a lot with the troubleshooting, and as a result, going to cost you much less down the line. Okay, Replit now finished with all the changes we've asked it to make, so we can see that it looks much different once you've logged in. So let's quickly look at the different departments here. We've got now all the departments. Let's call this ops. Let's just take a photo here to say the team color is not showing. When creating new departments, it still shows at the top create a new team. It still says team details, and also the team color we need to change everything there to department and also ensure that we can choose the colors ourselves instead of just having these 5 colors that you gave preset. Okay. And let's have a look at, well, there's no bookmarks, obviously. This activity data would still need to be updated. So let's start with the marketing department, and then we can say, when we want to create a new page and we say space, it shows up previous spaces that's not currently showing in the sidebar. It doesn't seem like the save button is working either. The save button is not working in creating a new page. Let's see what Replit can assist us here with. Let's see what Replit can fix based on this feedback. Okay, let's quickly run through all the different, that seems good. Got department. Okay, now I've got the opportunity to create custom colors, descriptions, etc. So let's call this customer support. Make it green. Nice, it's in there as well. I think that's about it. When I'm looking at the other spaces, let's just say Gemini test document create space. Interesting. After creating a new space, it's not showing up on the left as spaces. However, it is showing up inside of create new page under the space drop down. Let's get these edits sorted. Okay, let's quickly see if there's nothing at home. Activity is still. Okay, let's look at all departments. They're switching. Right, so all departments that's saved. But let's create a space. Let's call that. I'm wondering when that's going to show up, but let's see. Okay. I'm currently seeing different spaces that's stored in all departments showing up when I'm switching to other departments as well. However, it's not showing up on the sidelines, but it is showing up when I click on departments. Okay, fantastic. So we are moving forward to this space. This looks good. Bookmark worked. Here we can add links, tag someone. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. What I'm currently thinking is also create the opportunity to create custom tags inside create a new page. We just got all departments, sell scripts, let's save there, great. You can also see documents, we can add a document, view documents. Perfect. Yeah, this is almost there for us to start using internally. I just want to ensure that we have these minor issues sorted. And then another thing I wanted to make sure of was the way to invite team members too. Okay, let's see if everything here is updated. So let's look at home. Nothing there yet. Activity still the same. Writing bookmarks, we've got the bookmark at least. Let's say all departments. Great. That's all good. Let's say customer support. Let's also add a new one. Let's create a new tag. Let's say while that's getting sorted, we can quickly just ensure everything else here is fine. Another thing here is spaces are overlapping in different departments. Yeah, very good. So far, I'm quite happy. We've got something that we can work with. Let's also say good. Okay, so the agent came back and said it fixed the tag creation API endpoints that was returning HTML instead of JSON. It resolved the widescreen issue. It started to address spaces showing up in all departments. Then the underlying issue with spaces showing up in departments appears to be that existing spaces don't have the team ID properly set. Okay, let's quickly see. There's no spaces here in customer support. Let's create a space, say marketing and customer support. It says space created successfully. What I'm experiencing when I'm creating a new space in a department, that it shows that the new page is created, or the new space page is created. However, it's not showing up on the left sidebar. But when I go to something like all departments, it shows all the spaces on the left sidebar. Why is that? It seems like we're experiencing some form of data isolation as these different departments and spaces are overlapping and not fixed within each department. So then what I will do is I'll just drop it in a screenshot. Let's change that to something else. Okay, so after long wait, it seems like now we are getting the spaces that's being created within a department filtered within that specific space, and the data is isolated within that space. Now let's take a test, and I see what's also happened here is it also tells us now that this space will be created inside of that specific department, which is fantastic. Let's quickly go and see. Okay. Testing space, customer support. I can see it's testing there. Tags, customer support, create tag. Perfect, that's working well. Let's save it. Fantastic. So as we can see, it now saved it successfully, and now your team can go and add whatever they need to add and make all the necessary comments that they need to make, but also upload documentation and view documentation. Fantastic. Looking at Replit, what did it cost us to make this app? So as you can see there, it costed us $10.50 to create the entire app from start to finish. And guys, again, the reason for having it so cheap and so efficient is because of the way we planned and the way that we built the app. Taking into consideration the total time took 4 hours. We started at 11:45 and we now ended at 3:30. Now again, we didn't do much, we just led the agent, but ultimately the agent took 4 hours to complete all of the necessary work. So as we're wrapping up, you just saw how we walked through the entire vibe coding process to create an app from the ground up. We started with a clear plan, leveraged AI, and streamlined the heavy lifting, something functional that aligns with our business's infrastructure. I hope that gave you clarity on how to plug AI into your workflow without overcomplicating things. And again, guys, if you are looking to utilize that template, there's a link down in the description for you to access it. If we haven't met yet, I'm Johnny Nell. I've spent years building businesses across multiple industries, partnering with founders and CEOs like you to take on the challenges of starting, growing, and building businesses online. But this wasn't about me, this was about helping you. And right now, coding an app with AI might feel like a steep climb, might feel like unnecessary time with more complexity. And guys, as you saw, it really just took you to lead the agent well, but the agent was quite autonomous in ensuring that the app gets built. On this channel, I share a different way with AI, a path to sustainable development, modern leadership, and creating systems that work efficiently and effectively. And in my experience, the future isn't about having the biggest teams, it's about staying agile, lean, and adaptable. So take what we've built today, play around with it, tweak it to fit your brand's voice and your clients' need. And if you're feeling stuck or want to go deeper in any part of this, just let me know what works best for you. We can sync up, map out the next steps, and even jump on a call if we truly need to in order to get you on the right path. And remember, building with AI isn't about chasing the shiny AI tools out in the market. It's about discernment, picking the right systems that save you the time and let you focus on high impact work. Let me know if that makes sense, and we'll keep this momentum going. And guys, if you would like to test the app and play around with it, drop a comment down below what your thoughts were and what you think we could potentially do better or add on. See you in the next one.